All right, it's a savage, blustery Wednesday night here in Toronto. Rainy, and the realm is making up its mind to change once more from winter to spring. Rain pouring away. So what better night than to read another Thoth card? And here's to you, Alex. Okay. Got Roly Poly with us tonight watching. And as ever, I like to start with a little bit of Thoth art. And this is a magazine, an edition of Comic Book Artist, issue 11, January 2001. I was happy to contribute an article to it, which was a compilation of, I'll just flip through it. There's all kinds of interviews and articles here. And I'll do a video on this at some point, but I was happy to contribute an article where I interviewed Alex. That's not going to be my video today, but I might do something with this. It's too long to read all this out, but I interviewed him and asked him technical questions about his drawing, about storytelling, his choices, all kinds of stuff. Like back then I had the idea that, I think that was the early days of the internet, and people were still interested mostly in the drama, which of course you can see now has not subsided, but has only greatly increased. But back then I thought, everybody's asking Alex these questions about, like, did you really dangle Julie Swartz out the window at DC Comics because he wouldn't give you his paycheck? All this kind of stuff, which of course, is kind of entertaining and dramatic. But I was thinking, why doesn't a peer, an artist in the business, a professional, ask him all these questions? And so I started doing that. And I set myself to ask him, which I did by letter, or I might have phoned him, I don't remember now, but I said, like, if I send you questions, and we agreed on 5 at a time, I mailed him questions. I said, if I send you questions, will you send me answers? And he said, yeah. And in fact, at one point he told me something I'd still love to follow up on, is that he said that he in turn had asked his hero, Noel Sickles, if he would write a book about the craft of storytelling, comics, and all that. And he said that his hero hadn't, but Alex told me at one point that he had started, how did he put it? He said that he had jotted down lots of notes and chapter headings and things like that. So he had started in some fashion on such a book because he himself, Alex, was disappointed that his great hero, Noel Sickles, had not done that, had not written a book kind of extolling, or that's not the right word, expounding on the inner workings, the ins and outs of comic book storytelling and storytelling in general. So, I set about to do whatever I could to salvage that by just asking him these questions. John Cook was good enough to publish it. What I did is I sent him a whole bunch of letters, like I said, and then I kind of digested all the postcards, which he wrote in this style, like this postcard I'm going to read you. They're very dense with lots of slashes and things like that. So I had to kind of do a lot of editing without ever changing the meaning of the sense of what he was saying. But I had to edit it together into answers. So I did do some, copying and pasting, but I think I did him justice. Anyway, so there's that. And then this is the book by Daryl McNeil, and I chose this as a background, let's say, to this video because Alex mentions Daryl McNeil briefly in this video, in this postcard. So I'll read that in a sec. But this, of course, is the famous book by design of all Alex's Hanna-Barbera model sheets and things, which is very hard to find now, apparently, last time I checked. But just genius, fantastic stuff as ever. These are some reproductions of the presentation boards he did, which are, of course, were in color, so they don't really look very good here, but endless great stuff, storyboards. It's kind of sideways, but I'm not going to lift it up. Yeah, what I think I'll do is I'll get to the postcard. So this is from 9th of August. think that's 2000. He had this funny way of drawing these. I think they're supposed to be those old spectacles with the handle on them. That's what it looks like to me. 2 eyes. It's kind of quirky, but that's what I like. Anyway, he says, finally read through the 15-page indictment of the animation business and its call to action and reconstitution of basic truths. And I'm bouncing in my chair in my huzzas, I guess it's like applause, for its concise chronicling of all past and present ups and downs, good and bad, amazing twists and turns, to here and now. Brilliant. And what Alex is referring to is that, as I perceived, as others did, that he was kind of housebound. And as the internet was rising, what I did is I printed him out various things and I sent him books and different things like markers. But in this case, I had printed out a 15-page kind of, I don't know, you call it a rant or a speech or a statement by a man called Charles Zembillis on a forum called Animation Nation. It was one of the early animation or comic book type forums. So he had written a statement about the state of the industry at that time, and I'd printed it out and sent it to Alex because, I knew he wasn't on the internet, but I thought, hey, he'll be interested in seeing these developments as a way of keeping him in touch. So he wrote me back and said this. And Alex goes on to say, I have no idea if the April 90th, is that 99? Or 2000, I really can't read this, but it looks like April 2000 maybe, meet raised any dust at all. Never heard any rumbles from my few inside contacts, grapeviners, etc. I applaud, of course, Zembillis's every word and thought. Hope it did good, his true saying. I've read a mess of Iron Giant reviews via Daryl McNeil and heard radio and saw TV critics all vote yes, it's a great film, savvy alternative to formulaic zip-zap crap of Disney's musical melange. A good story, well told, voila. So, of course, he's talking about Brad Bird's fantastic Iron Giant film. Plus, keen promoting marketing skills. Yep, at last a movie columnist wrote what I've said for years about our local genius idiot savant, Steven Spielberg's DreamWorks. Triad Troika's need for its own huge studio complex to put itself on the map. Nonsense. Yeah, he really didn't care for Steven Spielberg, so he called him Spielberg in every postcard I've got. But hey, that makes it interesting. He's got a point of view, and he wasn't afraid to state it. An individual man and a strong presence. So I think he earned his rights to his views. 3 guys, he's talking about DreamWorks, 3 guys with their billions of dollars never needed one. I think he means a studio. Katzenberg, Geffen now admitted to no interest, but Steve wanted it, so yielded to no avail. The local citizenry circling the intended site voted no, go away to Steven Spielberg and company and were opposed to tax breaks, perks demanded to build the stupid thing there, just like LA. Now refusing the junk demands of getting our NFL team here, building a damn stadium for him. Bloody nerve. Who cares about having a team? Only politicos working scams under tables to get rich off it. As ditto with our Brooklyn Dodgers scandal. So, people have speculated about what Alex's exact politics were. Was he left wing, right wing, middle wing, no wing? But certainly, if he was here now, I'd share a glass of wine with him or whatever his poison was, Haas, and say, I agree with you, man. Like, it's all corruption. And it looks like that's what he's pointing to here. He's talking about the insider scams, corruption. Here in Toronto, the downtown, they're building all these, by the waterfront, it's just filled with massive condo towers. Whereas when I moved here in the late 70s, early 80s, I remember clearly the politicians of that era were saying, no way we're going to block off the waterfront and build all this stuff. Well, something changed. Payoffs. Anyway, I digress. So he says, ditto with our Brooklyn Dodgers scandal 40 years ago. Bulldozing folks' homes, stormtrooper police actions illegal to make it all happen. Destroyed a whole community, etc. Alex cared, but obviously bugged him, all this stuff. Anyhow, wingnuts prevail. Spielberg's had a run of big bucks flops, like The Haunting now. Only his Ryan, in other words, Saving Private Ryan, made it. A mile wide, an inch deep, old Steven Spielberg. Who dreamed of his name over the front gate? Schmuck. So his studio can't find a home. No one wants it. Playa del Rey, Santa Barbara, Barbera, that's the studio. Santa Barbara, Las Vegas, etc. A big pain for all of them. So I guess they, SKG, DreamWorks, they'll go on leasing offices, stages at Universal, Warner Brothers, etc. His dumb, banal TV cartoon series got WB bomb too, I'm told. No renewals, etc. He may learn something through these events or not. Good scripts, production, direction, originality, for God's sake. Not more dumb remakes. Well, let's hear it for that. I mean, that's gone on, right? Where are the originals? Well, there are some, I guess, but that's another whole topic. Originality, for God's sakes, is what makes good movies, not real estate. Ideas, not posh offices. Anyhow, thanks for Think Piece just read. He means the Animation Nation piece. Think Piece just read. Great. Triple exclamation marks. Let's get the hell out of that snake pit in hell. Kosovo, Herzegovina, Bosnia, et al. I'm sick of it. Hopeless for 6 centuries. Alex T. I guess he was referring to what was in the news then. And then he's got a little addition here. Did Zimbalist write more of all this since April on internet, etc.? And I don't know if I sent him more. I'd have to check in one of my next installments. And so here we have the semi-expired duck plastered on the floor with a cloud of debris particles fogging his brain. And he's put a Nancy postcard on here, a stamp on here. So there we go. Another postcard from the past, kind of sentimental, Alex. And, I thought that people who are fans of his might, through me, appreciate his voice from the past and maybe rediscover his artwork for people who, in the fast streaming modern times on Twitter and everywhere else, they might forget to look up this giant of the past and his mastery of comic book artwork. And like I said, if I ever get to breaking down this article and maybe even other articles from this magazine, there'll be more. If I get to doing that, there'll be more to come about his techniques and stuff. So, as ever, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. And there will be more, because I got to stack more letters and postcards to read out. Bye for now, and see you later.